In the end of our last video lesson, we began to speak about the letter Dalet of the light that came out of the nostrils of Adam Kadmon. If you remember, to go along with this letter Dalet, there is also a letter Vav in the light of the nostrils. The result taught us that it actually split into 6 individual parts, namely into 6 individual Aleph letters. However, as we learned in our last video lesson, the Arizal stressed that unlike the letter Vav, the letter Dalet did not actually split into 4 Aleph letters. However, at this stage of his teachings, the Arizal proceeds to reveal that although the letter Dalet did not actually split into 4 Aleph letters, nevertheless, there is some hint to the existence of these 4 Aleph letters. In actuality, though, these 4 Aleph letters were properly revealed only in the next stage of the emanation of the worlds, when the spiritual lights came out of the mouth of Adam Kadmon, what the Arizal calls Olam Ha'akudim. Therefore, in this video lesson, our objective is to demonstrate how these 4 Aleph letters are merely alluded or hinted to in the lights that came out of the nostrils and the ears of Adam Kadmon, despite the fact that these letters were revealed only later in Olam Ha'akudim. In order to highlight where and how these 4 Aleph letters are hinted, we must remember that in the 2 parts of the light of the ears, i.e., in the light of the right ear, as well as in the light of the left ear, there is 1 letter Hey. As we learned, the shape of this letter Hey is comprised out of a letter Dalet and a letter Vav. To differentiate, in both the light of the right and the left nostrils, we find 2 separate individual letters, an individual letter Dalet, as well as an individual letter Vav. With all that in mind, the Arizal begins to clarify where the first letter Aleph is alluded to. First, we'll focus on the letter Hey of the right ear, which, as we said, was in the shape of a letter Dalet on top of a letter Vav. When we add the gematria of these 2 letters, which is 4 plus 6, we get the numerological value of 10, which is also the gematria of the letter Yod. In this fashion, we find the allusion to a hidden letter Yod in the light of the right ear. Now we'll combine this hidden letter Yod with the 2 individual letters in the light of the right nostril, i.e., with the letter Vav and with the letter Dalet. What do we get? The Arizal tells us that these 3 letters, Yod, Vav, and Dalet, together make up the shape of the letter Aleph. This is one of the shapes of the letter Aleph that we find throughout the writings of the Arizal. The shape of a letter Yod on top, and an upside down letter Dalet connected to a tilted letter Vav. And yes, this shape of the letter Aleph is slightly different from the shape of the letter Aleph that we learned about in our last video lesson, which was in the shape of 2 letter Yods connected to a letter Vav. However, in this stage of our discussion, the Arizal teaches us that the shape of the first of the 4 Aleph letters is made out of the three above-mentioned letters, Yod, Dalet, and Vav, which together have the gematria of 20. Till now, we spoke about the first Aleph letter. But where is the second Aleph letter hinted in the light of the nostrils and the ears? When we take the Yod letter of the left ear, that is to say, in the combined gematria of the Dalet and the Vav letters, which make up the shape of the letter Hey of the left ear, and when we combine this letter Yod with the letter Dalet and the letter Vav of the left nostril, we find the second letter Aleph, which, like the first one, also has the shape of Yod, Dalet, and Vav, and the combined gematria of 20. And where is the third Aleph letter hinted? The Arizal points out that when we take the letter Yod of the left ear and combine it with the letter Vav of the left nostril, as well as with the letter Yod of the right ear, we find the third letter Aleph. And as you can see, the shape of this third letter Aleph is somewhat different from the first two Aleph letters that had the shape of the letters Yod, Dalet, and Vav, and a gematria of 20. However, this third letter Aleph is made out of two Yod letters and one Vav letter, which together have the gematria of 26. And where is the fourth letter Aleph hinted? When we take the letter Yod of the right ear and combine it with the letter Vav of the right nostril and with the letter Yod of the left ear, we find the fourth letter Aleph, which also has the shape of Yod, Vav, and Yod, and the gematria of 26. If so, we therefore find an allusion to four Aleph letters in the light of the nostrils and the ears. Two Aleph letters in the shape of Yod, Vav, and Yod, and the gematria of 26, as well as two more Aleph letters in the shape of Yod, Vav, and Dalet, and the gematria of 20. And of course, we could point out several difficulties with regards to the formation of these four Aleph letters. First, we could ask why we used the letters in both the light of the nostrils and the light of the ears in order to form these four Aleph letters. After all, wasn't our goal to find an allusion to the four parts of the letter Dalet that came out of the nostrils of Adam Kadmon? If so, then seemingly we would expect to find these four Aleph letters only by means of combining the letters of the nostrils, without the help of the letters in the light of the ears. However, to that we could answer that the letter Dalet of the nostrils represents the root of the four Aleph letters that were revealed in the light that came out of the mouth of Adam Kadmon, i.e. in Olam HaAkudim. However, to differentiate, the letter Dalet of the ears represents the root of these four Aleph letters that were revealed in Olam HaAkudim. If so, then it comes out that these four Aleph letters are enrooted not only in the light of the nostrils, but also in the light of the ears. This is why the Arizal combined the letters of both the nostrils and the ears in order to form these 4 Aleph letters. Additionally, we could seemingly ask why we just used the letter Yod of the right ear as well as the letter Yod of the left ear twice. Once in order to form the 3rd Aleph letter, and yet again in order to form the 4th letter Aleph. And in truth, we could continue to entertain several more possible difficulties in our current teachings. But at the end of the day, we must remember that the letter Dalet of the nostrils did not actually split into 4 Aleph letters like the letter Vav of the nostrils, since, as we learned, these 4 Aleph letters became revealed in actuality only in the next step, when the light came out of the mouth of Adam Kadmon in Olam HaAkudim. Therefore, we should not feel compelled to speak in such great depth about hints that have such a subtle nature. However, please God, in our next series of video lessons, we'll speak in much greater depth about the nature of these 4 Aleph letters in our discussion of Olam HaAkudim.